What's going on, everybody? It's Gavin. What's going on? This is my new channel, my new YouTube channel, where I'm doing things fully on the side of gospel talk, reacting to gospel videos and analyzing them. I'm doing this to teach in a sense of what I know, but then also learn things. Today we're reacting to Jubilee, atheists and Christians debate truth and belief.
Can I have all of my atheists over there? Can I have all my believers over here?
I love this concept. Very good concept.
Belongs on pizza.
Good icebreaker.
You gotta be kidding.
Because again, here's the thing. When you're doing this in a setting that they're doing it currently, millions of people are going to see this. This video has 6.1 million views. It's going to get noticed. And it's going to get noticed quickly, and many people are going to know. Everybody's hostile. Every single one of these people, there might be a really arrogant person in here, but most people are probably hostile at this point. And, you know, so this is a good icebreaker, kind of get everybody into it. But this is just a different setting. Being brought on a show to talk about Jesus or to talk about Christianity and atheism, you know, it's going to get hostile, and it's very awkward at first.
My wife will not have a pizza unless there's pineapple on it.
You can try anything on pizza. So
Yeah.
why not pineapple?
I'm going to bring in the disagreeers.
Pineapple pizza. I like the taste of the cheese, the sauce, and the bread. That's it.
It's like,
By the way,
candy, though. It's like having candy on a pizza. It's
No,
Pineapple
no,
does
that's
belong on
pretty
pizza.
good enough.
Hands down, it belongs on pizza. And I would go on an hour debate about that as well. All right, we're getting into the real stuff now.
I'm nervous about what's going to happen today.
You have to be right. In a sense, there could be, I mean, like, definitely confidence.
I mean, I'm nervous because this is a normal topic that people can usually talk about, but in this climate, it's very touchy to even say, I believe.
Exactly. That's exactly what I stated before. The environment and the topic of discussion, it's gonna throw things off just a little bit, in a different sense of sitting down with somebody and talking personally about that subject. So at this point is very valid. It's a different setting, you know, very different.
Don't believe, you know.
Right.
So
It's funny, I would think that you would feel safer in the belief category than I feel in the non-belief category.
Very true.
I was raised in a house
Very true, because again, we're speaking on the topic of Jesus and God and the existence of God. So somebody that fully believes that he is real versus somebody that her background might as well be she's atheist just because she doesn't believe there's a God. She doesn't know much about atheism, but all she knows is that she doesn't believe in God. And I don't know if that's for sure her background, but she would definitely probably feel like these Christians have the upper hand because we're talking about something that they consistently study.
house very culturally Jewish. We talked a lot about God and religion and many different religions of the world, but I wasn't raised with any faith, with any religious faith in the house.
just 2
So
years
that's it.
ago, I hated Christians. I think I was an atheist, but I voiced all my doubts and skepticisms, and they gave me their perspective on it. That kind of opened me up, and that's why I'm a man of faith today.
It's a good question. Should be good.
If I just choose to believe that everyone is purely bad or evil, then that's going to be pretty.
And then you have to decide what the definition of good is. What
Like
is good?
according to Christianity, there's
Again, yeah, moral good is different.
no one good, no, not one. But I don't necessarily believe that if no one's good. I
We're
don't
born
want.
with a sin nature.
Yeah, so that's hard. Is like
We are evil and we are sinners, but there's good in us and there's worth in us. I could probably pull up a Bible verse. I mean, Genesis 1:27 says, so God created man in his own image. God created man in his own image. So if God created us in his image, he didn't create fully evil. So there's good in us.
Nature.
Yeah, so that's hard. Is like my definition of good it may not align with scripture, so it's hard because that's why I hesitated. Like I want to believe everybody's good.
If that's antithetical to the Christian belief is that you're born is sinful. It's interesting that the three of you came who are believers in that.
I'm not saying people are innately good. I'm just saying I just understood the question as all people are capable of good.
Disagree. Someone
Yeah, no. Start with Hitler and go from there. Or people.
That's another thing. People often bring up Hitler into the problem. I'm at work consistently when, we talk about Christ and we talk about God. They say, did Hitler make it to heaven? And those type of things. So people consistently bring Hitler into the problem because of what Hitler did that was so wrong here on earth. And I want to see how the Christians play off of this. And are they just going to be like, you're right, Hitler's awful, we can't really debate with you on this? Or are they going to have something to back it up? We'll see.
Or some people born good and turn bad.
Well, I think that's why the definition of good is subjective. That's why it's like to each his own for a definition, which is kind of hard.
We don't know what is right or wrong without the Bible because it's...
Okay, so back to what this other Christian woman just said. What type of good are we talking about? They can't connect, they can't talk to each other because they're talking about two different kinds of good. Hitler was moral, Hitler was an awful man who did awful things. Is there good in everybody? Does that mean there's good in Hitler? And the people would be like, no, there's no good at Hitler. There are moments in Hitler's life where he just hugged on his mom, or he cried and he just needed a hug and he loved somebody and he cared for somebody. There is good in Hitler. Just how it goes. And you can look at the history and again, but then you also hear that your past doesn't define you. And if your past doesn't define you, then does Hitler's past not define him? Hitler is not a fully evil person that has zero good in him,
Because it's God that makes the rules.
Really?
And without God,
Really?
you have no rules.
You can't make a decision on your own whether it's good or bad.
What about Hitler? He made a decision. He
Right,
thought it was good.
And he was wrong. You don't need the Bible to tell you that.
Well, you're born with that. God put that in you.
As
That
you
nature,
believe.
that conscience.
As you believe.
That's not a belief, it's a fact. I'm an author of 2 books where I give the whole history of the Earth from paleontology, geology, archaeology, publish about 4 articles on numerous subjects, including politics, science, meteoritics, dinosaurs.
Okay, so that definitely does play off of his character, of who he is as a person, and I'm not saying that in a judgmental way. What I'm saying is he's studied, and when somebody studies hardcore as a job as well, their job is to study. They're going to preach at it in a standpoint of, I know this, right? So it can come off as a little arrogant. It just seems like in this conversation there's a lack of love and patience. Let's see what this next question's about.
I believe my life has worth and value.
To my mother. Yes, I would want people to think that they have worth and value, but we are all ants on a big ball.
We are all very...
Ooh, see, okay. You hear what she just said? She just said that I would like people to know that they have value and worth. But it can't happen, and it's a hard pill to swallow that we're all just ants floating around on this ball. So what she wants is not what she believes, in a sense. And if you want people to know that they have worth and value, but you're just saying we're just ants on a ball, we're just clumps of cells floating around, And you could see that she wants to, but
important. The design in those things, if a man were to design it, it would cost several $1 million to make a human, if that were possible. And yet, God has created billions of us.
I believe in people. I believe we make our own choices. I don't believe that there is a overriding being controlling those choices or controlling our situation.
Okay.
You are important.
So I do not think that inherently just existing gives you worth and value. I think that you make choices, personal choices every single day on how you live your life and how you...
Okay. Wait. I'm confused because she just said when she walked up, she said, I don't think living your life normally throughout your day and doing the things that you do throughout your day gives you worth and value. But now she just said that the choices that you make throughout the day give you value. I don't know. I think I don't know. Because it just sounded like she was saying, the things that you do, or just living your life normally without a care and just floating around, like, doesn't give you value, but the things you're doing is value. So just pretty much a motivation type of thing she's saying here.
And how you treat people and how
you treat people
exist in the world, and those...
Well, hold on. You just made a definition about what value is, but you still don't believe you're valuable based on your explanation?
I said I'm not inherently valuable. My being born does not just...
You're saying based on your contribution to the world determines your value, right? What you get back.
No, please don't.
Oh, no, I'm not trying. I'm trying to.
There are many people who just exist because of instinct or because... Do their lives have value? I don't know. If they find value in it, sure. If they don't, maybe not. Who am I to judge whether somebody's life is inherently valuable?
I have had my doubts on the existence of a higher power.
I feel like everybody has, right?
I am
Who didn't
a
sit?
woman of faith and belief. I believe in the supernatural and higher power and a being that there's no accident in the way we were created. Yeah, I think anytime I have gone through hardship.
We've always had doubt, right? Matthew something. I can't remember. I think it's Matthew 21 something. But it says something along the lines of faith and doubt. And it's just says something like, I'm trying to remember. I'm going to catch it. If you do not doubt, if you don't have doubt in God, and if you've never had doubt in God, then you can move mountains. Then you can practically move mountains. I want to look it up now because I'm really curious of what the exact thing says. Yeah, so Matthew 21:21 says, if you have faith and don't doubt, you can say to a mountain, go throw yourself into the sea, and it will be done. What that's basically saying is no human has never doubted. Everybody has doubt. And if you don't have doubt, then you can control whatever you want. You can, so it's basically just saying it's impossible to not doubt.
I've questioned not just what I believe, I question my life, I question my
Exactly. We
profession,
all
I
do. We all
my
question
relationship.
everything.
So
I think, if you believe, whether it's Islam, Hindu, I think you have to doubt it. You can't just jump in there and be like, sign me up, I agree with everything, let's do this.
That would be for you, but that's not for everybody that is a believer of any particular religion. Some people don't question anything.
But in your view, by standing and saying, I don't think there's any higher power, do you ever face any doubt of thinking maybe there is?
Well, the definition of an atheist is someone who does not believe. It's not a declaration per se that there is no God. I am an atheist activist. I'm on the board of Atheists United here in Los Angeles and on the steering committee for Americans United for Separation of Church and State.
All right, come on in.
Let's hear him out.
No, I've never had any doubt, because I can see design everywhere. And you are not an atheist, you're an agnostic.
Nope.
Oh my. It's getting heated. This is where it's getting heated. Let me see. I want to just see this. But this is the spike right here. This is the highest spike in the video, guys. Get comfortable. get your popcorn. It's about to get crazy. So he just shot straight in and said, I have never doubted God. I've never doubted God. I can see it in everything I do. Just hands down, I've never doubted the existence of God. Man, I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. At some point, he had to have been like, is this real? At some point, you had to question it. And everything that has to do with God's existence, you have to question before you just dive right in, or you're living by blind faith, or you're stealing your parents' faith. You're just living in your parents' faith. So at some point, you have to disconnect from your parents' faith and choose to believe in God or not. And if you've never had doubt in Christ, I don't think that can happen.
Nope.
It's
I'm
an
atheist.
agnostic
No,
belief.
don't tell me what I am. I am an atheist.
An atheist doesn't believe
I'm an atheist. No.
An atheist doesn't
The
believe in the
definition-
supernatural,
No.
period.
An atheist
An
does
agnostic
not believe in
does believe
An
in the
atheist is
supernatural.
someone that does not
He
believe
just
in
doesn't
God.
believe in
I am
God.
telling you what an atheist is.
You're wrong.
No.
Do you believe in the
I am an
supernatural?
atheist.
Yep.
Do you believe in the supernatural?
Do not tell me
Do you believe
what
in
I am.
witches?
We don't need to make anybody right or wrong. It's just answer the question, give her space to talk.
Exactly. So I think these days we have so many people trying to prove the other person wrong. And I think that's what he's doing. He's trying to prove this atheist wrong. He's trying to prove this woman wrong. That is his goal today, is to come in and to prove them that he is right and they are wrong. That's what's happening. So he's coming in with facts, but in the way he's using them is not what God would intend us to do.
Give her space to talk.
Do you believe that this line of interrogation, questioning, furthers your...
No, I'm just giving facts.
Saved
Really
by that.
offensive. Here it is.
I am feeling frustrated right now.
Jubilee definitely threw that question in out of nowhere. I'm feeling frustrated right now. That was not on their sheet before this episode started. And they were trying to catch these people right here, right now. I think many people in this small circle is frustrated. And I'm going to put my money on it right now that he does not walk to that chair, that this guy does not walk to the chair. Psalms 4:4 says this: don't sin by letting anger control you. Think about it overnight and remain silent. Don't sin by letting anger control your actions and how you treat people, showing in an out way. So definitely, it's better if you were unable to come up for this question. I'm feeling frustrated. No, I'm content, and I know that there's going to be arguing, and I don't want there to be arguing. But let's just see what people sit down and how frustrated people actually are. On a scale from 1 to 10, I cannot wait to see. Let's see.
I'm feeling frustrated because it's even amidst the fellow believers, like the things he says, I'm just like, yo, I don't even know. I don't want what he says to reflect what my faith is to you.
Exactly.
Know what I mean?
I think it's sad that people are so determined to make other people wrong. And I grew up in a household with a conservative Jewish mother and a born-again Christian father. And I was in an abusive marriage. And my father yelled at me that I was going to hell when I walked out. I'm sorry. I don't believe in a God that would believe that.
That is... it's a different thing right there. I'm not going to believe in a God that believes in that. Okay, so basically what's happening is you're saying that God, since God allowed your father to say those words, that it's God's fault. Free will comes into play in this. Your father was angry, and your father chose her father. Sorry, I'm acting like she's watching the video. She's not watching the video. Definitely not. But the thing is that her father is said to her that you're going to hell when she walked out of the house for the last time, when she left. Well, I'm assuming it was the last time. When she walked out, that you're going to hell. And that's hate, and that's very dark. It is. But she's blaming it on God, is overall what's happening. And a lot of people that have things happen in their life, they blame it on God. I can say that I have definitely blamed things from my childhood and my experiences in the past on God, and I said, this person left me, I'm blaming it on you, God, or this person yelled at me, I'm blaming it on you, God. I lost this person, this thing happened to me, and this thing happened to me, I failed this grade, I'm blaming it on God, because we know that, or we hear that God created everything. God created everything. So, and God chooses what happens with everything. So you tend to put it on the creator and the thing who created, so it all ties back with that. So yes, there's things from her life growing up, trauma from her life, and events that took place in her life that she blames God on.
It's not, and that is
because people have
objectively,
showed
I don't
him as
care.
bad.
That's
in
crazy.
These conversations, like, if we have people who are just trying to drive their point through,
Exactly.
it kind of shuts down conversation.
Exactly.
I want to know what you believe and why you don't.
Anybody else? Come on in.
All right, let's hear.
Again, we have the power to choose our response to things. So I choose not to feel hurt. I choose not to be misunderstood.
I think there's safety in being heard and understood. You feel as if whatever it is that you want to be understood about matters.
We're going to leave it on that. But yeah, I think both sides were very, they got their points across. And at the end of the day, pineapple does belong on pizza.